And if you're in the chat, predictions will be open. You can place your bets on who you believe is going to take the series, who you believe is going to come out on top. Best of luck. Best of luck. So I quickly just set that up. Predictions open. There we go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our blue Polish Protoss player representing his new team, Starlight Twinkle. He is our challenger. Can he redeem his fallen countryman here in art? It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. He came into this as the #1 seed. Can anyone stop him? Can anyone bring him down? In the semifinals, he was shown that he is mortal. He was shown to bleed as Art did take off a map. Can his new opponent do more than that? Here we have NightMare. Here we go. Our best of 5 is here. As we settle into this, our first probe going to be moving out across the map. It is going to be a 2-gate opener out of Krystianer, 2-gate opener out of NightMare. Everything's looking normal, at least initially. And we're just making sure we get eyes on our pylon setups. Let's go. Cybercore has been thrown down. Krystianer, he's out of the map. Going for his own probe scout as well. A little bit more delayed compared to NightMare, but moving out nonetheless. And NightMare does confirm the placement of the second pylon, is aware that there is no cheese, there is no proxy. Likewise, Krystianer will do the same. We do confirm. I see the chat. Why not me? Este Hon Mono. You're an animal. You're an animal. What do you mean? You make more than enough being Hon waifu, okay? It's fine, it's fine. You're fine. Shaking my head. Ah. But yes, for now, it's going to be just standard openers. We're getting into our first students of choice. It's going to be double Stalker out of Krystianer, double Stalker out of NightMare. Everything looking as it should. As we do settle into this grand finals. Again, to get here in NightMare, he took down Eva, he took down Art, took down some big names. Again, he was fortunate into the ace match earlier. Likewise, so was Krystianer. Krystianer had his own rocky road here to the finals, dropping maps to both Nicorette and Shameless as well. So it has been quite a tense, quite a close road here to these finals for both players. Now they face off against each other. Sentries are on the way. Just again, a very safe way to play here. Krystianer will have access to hallucinations to scout across the map. Likewise, so will NightMare. So far, just very safe openers. NightMare does have the Stalker lead. He's moving out. Back at home, Krystianer, he's finishing up his shield battery. So even though Krystianer doesn't have as many Stalkers, with the help of the shield battery, he should be okay. Should be able to hold on. Stalker about pushing in. So you get a volley off. Behind this, because Krystianer didn't invest as heavily into these Stalkers, he has a faster Twilight Council, so faster Blink from Krystianer. You know, a little bit later here for NightMare. Only by a couple of seconds. Only by a couple. So this Blink is on the horizon. Also on the way for NightMare. And we may end up in a more passive early to mid game, just like what we saw against Art. I was a little bit surprised to see it, but based on our openers, based on our unit compositions, it does kind of lean towards that direction. Unless we see a gateway explosion. Like, unless players delay their third base in favor of gateways, we should be going for a longer game. Speaking of a third base, it's now on the way for NightMare. It is spotted. Krystianer spots it, he sends a probe immediately. As he moves out, NightMare is moving in. NightMare is going to be threatening that third base, and oh! Goes to the kill. Does force a cancel. A big cancel there from NightMare. Very nicely done. Does get the cancel, backs off. Behind this, getting his own third base up and running. So NightMare does have a slight economic lead here against Krystianer. Does have that slight lead. Krystianer going to try and chase this back. Force fields are thrown down. Finishing up his shield batteries are going to be thrown down, and here we go. We draw actually the high ground for NightMare. Does have the concave. Krystianer, he blinks on forward. Blink is done for him. Done for both players. It looks like with the reinforcements, with the defender's advantage, Krystianer, does he barely have enough? He does. He barely does have enough. He forces back NightMare, takes a bit of trade, takes a bit of fight, takes out another Stalker in the retreat as well. Good pickoffs by Krystianer. Looking at the resources lost tab here, NightMare bleeds out 8 Stalkers, Krystianer only bleeds out 6. Not the biggest of differences here, not the biggest of wins, but a win nonetheless for our Polish Protoss. Whew. From here, the game is going to settle down. We're going to be settling down into our next site, into our 3-base setup. Forges are on the way, gateways, robos as well. Things are going to be calming down here. And we'll see what kind of deviations we get into here once again. Krystianer, he's the first to kind of diversify his composition a little bit here, going in towards charge. +1 and charger on the way. NightMare has yet to start his own. Just focusing on pure Blink Stalker. See Krystianer trying to distract his opponent. The upside do shade in. They shade into the natural. Probes are going down. Very nice damage. We got 3, we got 4. Then we got 5. Not quite. But 4 probes full. Behind this Krystianer, he is expanding, taking his 4th. Has a better economy. Snipes a lot of his opponent's workers, of course. Just has to survive that eventual counterattack that is coming as NightMare is making his prism. Getting into his war prism, pushing out through the center of the map. Krystianer, he does not see, does not know. Krystianer is now getting into his own gateways, but I believe they're already done for NightMare. Yep, he's on 8. NightMare is on 8 gateways. He does come across these Stalkers, gets 1, he gets 2. Good trades for NightMare. He does bleed out a little bit more here towards the end. Oof. Do manage to get away. Do manage to try to get away here, but no, Krystianer, he's chasing NightMare down. At the same time, though, we do manage to get 5 probe kills. It's like here towards that natural. Krystianer refusing to turn around. Prism is across the map to harass. There we go. Zelts are on the way. Meanwhile, Krystianer, he doesn't care. He's warping in as much as he can here in the face of NightMare. Here we go. Once again, he does have a bit of concave. And there's no saving this 4th base. No shot. Zelts, they go for the probes. Likewise, Zelts across the map also harassing as well. Probes are going down for both players. Gonna be a lot of damage, but Krystianer, he does get a kill on the Nexus. Prism gets into the main. Zelts still pushing towards the 3rd. Zelts still moving out. Oh, the Zelts are on move command. No! They were on move command there. In the main base, we should clean this up. We still have a Prism as well. That is threatening, and we force a recall. Brutal recall there from Krystianer. As it looks like NightMare is going for a big counterattack. Krystianer, he's not ready for it. He still has not dealt with these Zealots. They're still doing too much. The Prism finally did go down. Finally got sniped. As this is not the first time that we've seen NightMare outposition Krystianer. dragging him over towards that fourth base. Catching Zealots. Catching Sentries as well. And NightMare, it's going to be his turn to take a better fight. Zealots are coming from behind. They collapse him from behind, and it looks like NightMare should have more than enough. As he's breaking on through the defensive line. No shield battery, no overcharge. Not enough reinforcements. I say that, there's another warp in. There's barely another warp in, but we also have Zealot reinforcements of our own. NightMare, he is breaking through just barely. GG gets called. He breaks the defenses, and NightMare will take game number 1. Ooh, GG. A very close game, to be honest. Very close, very back and forth in general there between NightMare and Krystianer. But in the end, Krystianer, he maybe bled out a little bit too much in his own aggression. He triggered a counterattack, and time again, we saw NightMare able to just catch Krystianer out of position at that fourth base location, was able to just get a better angle of attack, get a better position, get a better concave, a better arc, and just out-trade his opponent. Oh, GG. And with that, we're getting ready for game number 2. Yeah, getting ready for game number 2. Oh, it looks like it looks like they might have accidentally vetoed. Yeah. They vetoed for a best of 3, but they are getting ready for a best of 5. Just reorienting themselves in their vetoes. Just figuring things out. But here we go. We're getting ready for game number 2. And again, honestly, things were quite close. Like, Krystianer, he was finding himself in some good positions. He was winning out in some trades. He was winning out in some of those trades as well. But NightMare did eventually just catch him out of position one too many times. Whether it was with his Stalker aggression or with the Prism into the main. The Prism was being such a nuisance. Was doing so much across the map. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2. Oh, and it's going to be on Golden Aura. Let's go. Let us go. See if you're in the chat. There is a command in the chat for the bracket, !B. But the bracket is well underway. It's already well progressed. We made it here to those finals. And again, we're getting into Golden Aura as our second game. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our Polish Protoss player, our blue Polish Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing himself, currently teamless but leading the series 1-0. It is NightMare. Here we go. We are going to be settling into this here. Again, Golden Aura is a much smaller map, a much shorter rush distance map in the map pool. So I expect a little bit more aggression here, a little bit less passivity. We can be quite secure on 3 bases, but getting a 4th is a lot more difficult here to get into. So we'll see. Keep our eye on our players. We'll keep an eye on the openers as well. Should be 2 gates. Yeah. 2-gate opener out of Krystianer, 2-gate opener out of NightMare. No one is pulling a Max Max, no one is pulling an Art. I should emphasize as well, as Art did go for a gate expand earlier in his previous semifinals. Did show us that he is bold enough to do so. No one here though. Not yet. As we do see both Krystianer and NightMare moving out with their probes, throwing down their pylons in a fake proxy position. We have Krystianer throwing down his at his, linear 4th. Likewise, NightMare throws down his pylon here towards the north as well. And these are not real. They are fake. They're designed to try to force an overreaction, to try to force your opponent to panic a little bit and believe that you're cheesing them. So, bold moves here from our players. We do see Krystianer checking the center area here, just in case there was something like a proxy robo. This is a very common location for a proxy robo, so I don't blame him. He is checking. Probe comes in. Does confirm that at least the third pylon has been thrown down. Ooh, and yeah, he does get eyes on the missing second pylon. He throws down a robo. Robo is on the way for NightMare. And we'll see what we can do with this. This looks like a very defensive style, but this could also lead into a one-base all-in. Could lead into an all-in. Adepts are chasing down the probe. They're fanning out, trying to find any stray pylon. Meanwhile, we do get eyes on the tech. It's going to be a Stargate here from Krystianer. NightMare now knows it's not an all-in. We can expand. There it is. Nexus is on the way. And NightMare, he knows to be ready for Oracle aggression. Again, this follow-up probe scout should not have happened. And we should be getting in towards the mid-game. So very different kind of styles here. We have Oracle potential to harass and get economic damage done. Meanwhile, back at home, NightMare has the Robo for Observers, for Immortals, for a more robust army in the mid-game. Okay. Speaking of, there it is. The first Immortal is on the way. So this can snowball out of control. This can hit quite hard once we build up that Immortal count. Once we do build it up. There it is. Oracle does thread that main base, but because it got scouted, NightMare's in position. It's going to be able to zone that Oracle away for now, but does have to keep some Stalkers here in the main. They are tied up. At the same time, Krystianer applying pressure towards that natural, but with the help of this Immortal, we're perfectly safe and sound. NightMare, he does hold, does defend. Krystianer doesn't throw anything away. He pulls back. Oracle's a rotate around. We're up to 2. And we could go for the sentries. Not quite, we don't go for the dive. Adepts a shade into the natural. 2 Adepts do one-shot workers. They get 2. They're going for a 3rd and up. They do not get it. So never mind, the Oracles, they make up for it in the main base. 4 probes go down. And the Oracles survive. Pretty good. Like, despite the setup from NightMare, Krystianer, he still found damage. He still did pop off. NightMare is going to be easing into his own 3rd, just focusing on defending. Just focusing on securing his bases, getting into his own blink. Blink isn't done yet, so the Oracles, they will manage to get away. Will survive. And behind this, we're going for a gateway explosion. So Krystianer, he just made a choice. Instead of taking a 3rd, 2 more gateways. 2 more gates instead. The Observer sees everything, by the way. NightMare, he sees, he knows. Does get eyes on the gateways. Should be getting raided back at home. More Immortals are amassing here for NightMare. Shield batteries on the way as well. He's ready for a push. He is ready. Now, Krystianer is not going all in. He is still expanding. But Krystianer has more production. He has 4 gateways up and running. NightMare only has 2. So Krystianer, he has just a larger force in general here. He can just go for these more warp-ins. And NightMare, yeah, he's being very safe. He even goes for a hallucinated Immortal. You can see here, NightMare, he's very paranoid, very ready here for a push. Doesn't want to get caught off guard. Krystianer is pushing. But again, at least he's not all in. Looking at the vision, NightMare, he hasn't seen the third base until now. I was going to say that NightMare, it looks like he feels like it's an all-in. Like, this is very much so screaming that he was in preparation for a 2-base all-in. It's anything but. As we blink into the main, Krystianer goes to the main base. Station Trap is done, and we catch an Immortal. Very nicely done. Immortal is caught out. But we aren't able to get much more than that. I'd have to say shade in towards the third. We don't quite get more workers. Commit to the shade. We get 2 probes and get cleaned up. Okay, Krystianer, he comes down and he backs off. Does back off. And fun fact, because NightMare was getting ready for an all-in, look at the worker count. NightMare has been bleeding out some probes, but he's down to 43 workers. Krystianer, he has been heavily saturating his own third base, despite the later third. Remember, NightMare, he believed it was an all-in, but it wasn't. So Krystianer is in a pretty good position. He's in a pretty damn good position here. He has a 10 worker lead over NightMare. But NightMare has the better composition. We have Stalkers and Immortals. And these Immortals, they pack quite a punch. They can make up for a Stalker deficit. So looking at the army sizes here, we have a comparable Stalker count. We have the Immortals for NightMare. Krystianer, this is not going to be an easy defense. It's not going to be easy. He's rotating around. Does get eyes on the army. Here we go, NightMare is pushing in. Yeah, the Immortals, they force back the army. We go for the shield battery, overcharge is popped. But it gets focused down. Boys, they have to be pulled. And here come the Slowlots. Slowlots are taking some shots. We dive on top of the Immortals. Good juggling here with the War Prism. We save one of them, we save both. We snipe the Prism. Good target firing here out of Krystianer. And can he clean this up? Can he barely clean this up? It looks like he will. He takes down every single Immortal, but it cost him 15 probes. Cost him a lot of workers. And we have to go. We have to commit to the all-in. We have to commit to the counter-attack. As Krystianer, he has lost his worker lead. Down to 50. Back at home, NightMare, he's got a Dark Shrine. That's the problem here. He's getting ready to defend with DTs. Krystianer backs off. Krystianer, he pulls back home, licking his wounds. And we have to take stock. Now, NightMare takes the economic lead, that is true. But Krystianer, he has a better army. He's going for a 4th base. This 4th will make up for it. It's a good way to catch up here in the economy with the faster 4th, considering that NightMare has no 4th of his own. Krystianer is pulling this off. He is recovering. Dark Templar have arrived. We have detection. We have observers, at least one. Yeah, we have one observer for the time being. Rotate around, we catch another Dark Templar. Very nicely done there by Krystianer. Does minimize his losses. And Krystianer, he's stabilizing. He's called back up to 60. Remember, faster 4th base. It's about to get up and running. You make 4 probes at a time. And now it's no longer a purely gateway army. Now Krystianer has incorporated Archons. And Chargelons. And +1. Krystianer, he has Archons, he's got the upgrade lead, he's got the composition lead right now. NightMare, he lost all of his Immortals, can no longer rely on them. He is getting into his own Archon production. You can see Charge is still seconds away from finishing. It's not ready. We need a little bit more time. We do need more time. That's a cancel on the 4th base. And Krystianer, he's snowballing out of control. He collapses on the army, takes down the shield batteries, takes down the 4th base. And after surviving the earlier all-in, the earlier push of NightMare, it looks like Krystianer is snowballing out of control. +1 is done in 10 seconds for NightMare. But he's so far behind. Good snipe. We snipe the Prism. At the same time, though, we're going for the Archons. Good blinks out of Krystianer. He does pull back. Here come the reinforcements. Here come the Zealots. He collapses on the army. GG gets called, and Krystianer ties things up 1-1. GG. We have a series, Bobby. We have a back and forth. And that is all we wanted here. GG, well played. Krystianer able to have a much stronger start here in this game. Able to get into his own 3-base setup. He faked the 2-base all-in, essentially. He was able to fake it out, forced a big reaction out of NightMare. NightMare, he was so ready for a push that never came. And because of that, Krystianer took a massive economic lead. And from there, he was in the driver's seat. It was a clutch defense, though, is what I will say. When NightMare moved out with his 3 Immortals, that was a close fight. NightMare, he almost broke Krystianer then and there, but he didn't. And with that, Krystianer ran with it. And with that, we have a tied-up series. And we're going to Game 3. Bearing in mind, this is not the ace match because this is a best of 5, not a best of 3. Plenty more games ahead of us. Let's go. Let us go. And I want to believe, I mean, even in game 1, even in game number 1, Krystianer was very, very close to taking that game as well. It was very back and forth between himself and NightMare. And it just goes to show how much Krystianer has grown over the past year. He has been improving a lot, alongside Geralt as well, I will say that. They've both been leveling up, and yeah, so far Krystianer, he's holding his own. But can he go even further? Because spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have representing his new team, Starlight Twinkle, the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, the favored player in this entire tournament, the #1 seed. But he has been shown to bleed. He has been shown to bleed once again. He is not untouchable. It is NightMare. Going for a proxy in the natural base of Krystianer. He's crazy. Oh my god. A wild location for the proxy, but NightMare, he's had enough of these longer standard games. No. It's time to ape it up. It's time to ape it up. The mask is off. The clown shoes are on. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Oh my god, we're going for a 2-gate proxy with a forge for cannons. Okay, so we're going gasless. This is going to be for Zealots and Cannon Rush. So this is going to be Zealots for cannons. Zealots and cannons here from NightMare. No gas whatsoever. It's all or nothing. Very aggressive, very all in. And Krystianer has no idea. He's coming in with a probe scout. This probe scout, if we go straight for the main base, we'll get eyes on the lack of pylon, the lack of gases, the lack of anything. We need to get in. We do need to get in. Another pylon's on the way so we can leapfrog forward with those cannons. Forge is done. Gateways are finishing. And we're going for the main base. Pylon has completed. There we go. Cannons are now on the way. Krystianer, he sees. He now knows. And now he confirms as well. No gases across the map. Can he respond in time? Krystianer responds with his own forge, but it may be too late. So, in this position, as a defending Protoss player, defensive forge is ideal. You need your own cannons. You need your own cannons here to deal and combat the cannons of your opponents. But the forge is exposed. It's going down here to the Zealots, taking a lot of hits. Shield batteries on the way, depths as well. And this forge is going to be cancelled. It is going to be cancelled. It is within range of the cannon. And Zealots are busting in. They're going for the pylon. That is Nartosis pylon. Okay, they go for the shield battery instead. Shield battery is going to be cancelled. These Zealots putting in a lot of work, and now we have 2 more Zealots arriving. The Adepts have arrived. We have to be very careful to get within range of the cannons. We get one. One Zealot goes down. Good kiting so far out of Krystianer. Very nice. It only gets 2 Zealots in total. But you can see that the cannons are on the way within the mineral line. The cannons are coming. And Krystianer is in so much danger. If these cannons finish, that's going to be game. And they're finishing. We're shutting down the Zealots. It's so close. Can we deny these cannons? There's so many on the way. There's 4 cannons in production. And they're finishing. Yeah, the cannons, they are completing here. They're wreaking havoc. They take control of the main base. Overcharge is popped. Do you have the overcharge? That is enough to kill a cannon. But there's still 4 more. Yeah, GG gets called. It's just too much. NightMare, he does bounce back with the cannon rush, taking a lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. I see in the chat, NightMare, he's an animal. He is an animal. Ay. The cannon rush does pay off. Again, if those cannons finish in the main base in the mineral line, that's game. It's just straight up. Like, there's no way about it. There's no way to bounce back. Ay. And now we're getting into game number 4. NightMare, he is 1 game away from becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. Can Krystianer bounce back? That was a very short game, and if you notice, there was no GG at the end of that game either. It's, I'm sure, very frustrating to lose to cannon rushes, and hopefully Krystianer is able to keep a cool, calm, and collected head. Hopefully Krystianer is not too emotional after that game, but again, I think it's understandable if he is, if he's a little bit upset after being cannon rushed. As we're getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkion, we have our blue Polish Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. Down in the series, he has to bounce back here and now. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing himself, leading the series 2-1. He is 1 game away from winning it all and becoming our champion this week. It is NightMare. Here we go. The PvP is upon us. Potentially the final game, game number 4. Can we bounce back? So Krystianer is moving out with his probe scouts, this time going directly for the main base. I don't blame him. It is going to be a 2-gate opener out of NightMare, 2-gate opener out of Krystianer. Everything looking normal, everything looking as it should. I see the disgusting fight. He's an animal. All things are true. All things are Protoss, puppy. What do you mean? Really, more than anything, that last game, NightMare, he played the most Protoss you could. He's just embracing his race. He knows how to win, puppy. He knows. He knows the power of Protoss. Hey, why be locked into a 20-minute game when you can just go for a cannon rush, right? True. Makes sense. As NightMare is going for a proxy pylon. He's going for a proxy. Here we go. The pylon is being thrown down. Krystianer, he does confirm that the pylon is missing, by the way. He knows that it's not where it should be. Where exactly is it? Show us the robo. As Krystianer responds with a robo of his own. So proxy robo out of NightMare, but a very good reaction out of Krystianer. He hasn't seen the pylon. He hasn't seen the proxy, but he goes for a gamble. He believes that it's real, goes for a defensive robo himself. Here we go. So a blind counter out of Krystianer, but it comes down to the control, comes down to the execution. As NightMare is going for a 1 base all in. Now with a defensive robo, we have defensive immortals. That's what's important. We can get into immortal production very early on, get into a war prism as well. Adepts are moving out. We're gaming, papi. We're gaming. Yeah. Aye. And speaking of getting into a defensive immortal, we're going for a prism first. Bold move, but again, it does allow us to micro and juggle our units to avoid shots, to preserve our army. Meanwhile, immortals are on the way from NightMare. We have not scattered, we have not gotten confirmation. Krystianer is still not fully aware of what's going on. He is looking to expand. Ooh, oh boy. There it is. There's the expansion, going for the natural base. Meanwhile, NightMare is doubling down, rallying everything across the map. And Krystianer is going for a counterattack. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's not going for his own immortal, so he doesn't know it's an all-in. He's not getting ready for this. Otherwise, we would have an immortal on the way. You can see the Stalkers are in position. He's ready for a proxy Stargate. He's ready for Oracle Harass. I mean, again, Krystianer, he's playing blind. He's trying to get ready for everything. Prism zips in. Big warp in. We're going for the economy. There's a shield battery, but these adepts, they can wreak havoc. There's 4 adepts in the main base. Probes are going down. At the same time, we're going to force to cancel the natural. Doesn't matter. We're going for the main. We have to go for the kill. Going for the kill. Probes, they're falling one after the other here. No mining whatsoever for NightMare, but we bust into the main base. We collapse on that Immortal. The army's being forced back. We're down to 2 units. We're down to 1. We have control of the main base. We go for the pylon. We depower the gateways. No warp-ins here for Krystianer. He's down to 1 Immortal and only 1 Immortal. And yes, we might be denying any kind of mining time, but we force a recall. Boys are being pulled. Probes, they're putting in a lot of damage. We get the robo. NightMare, he snipes the robo. He's down to 13 workers. Krystianer, can he hold? Adepts, they get held up by the Immortal of his opponent of NightMare. Adepts are going down. We're going for another big warp in. Immortal goes down and NightMare. It looks like he may just have too much. Shading out across the map, actually. I don't think that was intentional. Bit of miscontrol at a NightMare. Things are getting chaotic. The Adepts, they're coming back. Krystianer, he's holding. Krystianer, he is holding on. He repowers his gateways. He gets more Adepts. Do you have the warp in? We shade into the main base. Krystianer has a worker lead. He can afford to lose some probes. 20 workers against the 13 of NightMare. Remember, Krystianer, he's on 2 bases. He's on 2 Nexi. Trying to repower those gateways once again. Adepts, they force Krystianer back. He's going for the pylon. He wants it. Oh, it takes a big shot to the face, though. Does take a big hit. NightMare forced out of the main base. We do wall off in time. NightMare doubling back. Does outposition Krystianer. Pylon, oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Is a kill. Overcharge is pop, keeping the Immortal alive. And Krystianer, he holds. Very impressive. Krystianer, he does hold on. And cleans up the Adepts. Both of them go down. And Krystianer, he's still up in workers. GG gets caught. He holds. He survives. And Krystianer forces the ace match by going all the way to game 5. Whew, GG. GG, bro. GG. Oh my god. Papi. That was close. I was a little bit concerned when we saw that we went for our War Prison first and we delayed our Immortal production. I was concerned that Krystianer would not have enough to defend. It was a very tense situation there, very tense game, and GG. We're going to game 5. We're going all the way to the ace match. Let's go. So we are settling in. Ooh, we are settling into Crimson Court as the ace match. It all ends here. It all ends in game 5. And I'm just happy that we have an ace match, right? Like, coming into this, I was a little bit concerned that NightMare was going to just blow his way through everyone. I was concerned that NightMare was just going to just 2-0 and 3-0 everyone and just walk away unscathed. But no, we fight back. We force an ace match here in the finals, even in the semifinals as well. It all comes down to our final game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player from South Korea, being forced into game 5. Can he bounce back? It is NightMare. Whew. Okay. Let's go. The probe is moving out across the map. Try to get a bit of a scout off. Likewise, Krystianer preparing back at home as well. Where will we find ourselves? As it is going to be a 2-gate opener out of Krystianer, 2-gate opener out of NightMare. This time, based on our probe placements, we are not going for a proxy. We're not going for a cheese, at least not from the side of NightMare. So Krystianer is moving out. Whew. Here we go. As the second pylon has been revealed here to NightMare, so there's no proxy. Likewise, second pylon in the main base from NightMare as well. So both players are fully aware that there is nothing being proxied out of the map, that we have a standard game, at least initially. We're calming things down, getting into the ace match. No proxy, no cheese, not yet. Meanwhile, when it comes to our first units of choice, it's going to be Double Adept out of Krystianer and Stalker Sentry from NightMare. Okay, NightMare going for a very safe opener here across the map. Krystianer being much more aggressive and assertive with Double Adept. So we have a more aggressive build here from Krystianer to get across the map to wreak some havoc. And it isn't just 2 Adepts, we're going up to a 3rd and 4th Adept as well. We could even go up to 6, we could even go up to 8. We'll see when Krystianer stops making Adepts. So he is pushing. Meanwhile, across the map, NightMare going for his expansion, getting into his Stalker production. Probe does confirm the Sentry and additional Stalkers as well. And Krystianer, he is continuing Adept production, by the way. There it is. Go up to 4, soon to be 6. So Krystianer is getting up to 6 Adepts. Meanwhile, NightMare going to be getting into his first tech of choice. Going to be a Twilight Council. Will be a Twilight Council Blink-based opener out of NightMare. But Adepts, they are being zoned back time and time again. NightMare, he has a full wall up and running here in his main. Krystianer, he is zoned away. Behind this is going for a Robo. This should be for a Warp Prism to get into the main base, to bypass the wall. To get into Immortals as well. As we're not, oh my god, we're getting up to what, 10? No, sorry, 8. 8 Adepts here from Krystianer. Ay, ay, ay. That's a lot of Adepts. And this is a big investment. We have to make this worth our while. We have to make this pay for itself. The pressure is on Krystianer. So he does get revealed. I'm fully aware of how heavily we invested into these Adepts. Gonna be feeling pretty confident. Forcing this back. Let's force it back. We do come into the shade. We get 1 probe. We do manage to get 1 worker, but we're gonna bleed out some of these Adepts. Yeah, the shade was a little bit too late. And 1 Adept goes down. 1 Adept for 1 probe, not worth it for Krystianer. Not worth it so far. So we do pick up another probe, and we are denying mining time here at the natural at least. 2 deny mining time, shading in towards the main base. You can see how oversaturated NightMare is on his 1 base. He knows that if he does pull down here to the natural, he will lose workers. And because of that, Krystianer does have an economic lead. He's fully saturated. Krystianer is fully saturated here on 2 bases. And finally, NightMare. Oh, he finishes the pylon. The pylon does complete. He has to kill his own pylon. And now he can mine from his natural. Finally. You can see here the economy deep in the blue, deep in favor of Krystianer. Very well done. Didn't kill a lot of probes, but did deny mining time. And that's what matters. And we're not done. Remember, it was a Robo follow-up into Immortals, into a War Prism drop into the main. The Adepts, they're coming back with a vengeance. For probes, they are spotted. Gonna be cleaned up. 3rd base is delayed. As Adepts do threaten the shade. Krystianer should be thinking of his own 3rd soon. Throwing down 3 more gateways, getting up to 5. That's a hefty gateway count. So, did I say 5? Getting up to 6, by the way. Okay, it's going to be 6 gates here for Krystianer. Getting up to 7 gateways. This is a 2-base all-in. 2-base all-in from our Blue Protoss player. NightMare is expanding. NightMare, he's investing into a longer, later game. +1 has begun. This +1, it's possible that it may not come into play at all before the fight does happen. It's not going to finish. Hallucination is coming in. Big scouts. Big moment here for NightMare. He does get eyes on the additional gateways. He does confirm the lack of 3rd. We need shield batteries. Oh, as we blink into the main. Oh, Krystianer out of position. He doesn't have blink of his own. Does not have blink. Probes are going down. And this is going to slow down the all-in as we force a recall. We do bleed out some of these stalkers, but we got to go. Okay, what do we have? So, Krystianer, he's got 3 immortals, he's got 4 sentries, that's a lot of force field energy, and he's got 12 blink stalkers. And we should be pushing with a warp prism. And warp prisms across the map. So here we go, here comes our all-in. We could try to go for the third, and I imagine this will securely deny the third base, true, but we most likely want to go for the kill and go for the natural. We're knocking down the rocks, we're going for the third base. At the same time, it ups the shade again. Oh, we're bleeding out a lot of probes. This is going to impact how well we can reinforce. Yeah, we managed to get 3 probes across the map. But we knock down these rocks, and here we go. Krystianer, he's going for the third base. We have 2 shield batteries, we have an overcharge, we have force fields. Not going to be an easy push. But Krystianer, he's up 20 supply. There's the overcharge. Good force fields. Here we zone Krystianer back. Tries to catch his own stalkers. Doesn't quite pick them off. But we're going for another big warp in, and Krystianer does have the supply lead. Overcharge runs out. Good force fields, and Immortal does get isolated. But Krystianer, he may just have too much. So many of these Immortals are not really taking part in the fight. And not adding their damage, but Krystianer, he's slowly breaking through. We're running out of force fields. We dive on top of the army. We get on top of the final Immortals. And Krystianer, it looks like he has done it. He's breaking on through, getting on top of the army. Shield batteries, they're running out of energy. And Krystianer, he's done it. He breaks through, he breaks the third base, but remember, he needs more than the third. He has to keep going. He needs to go for the kill. He needs to go for the throat. So he does force back those stalkers. Immortal has arrived. Nexus goes down. Krystianer, he still has a supply lead, and he's making his way towards that natural. Boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled off the mineral line. We have another reinforcing wave of zealots. Overcharge is popped. And the overcharge is putting in a lot of work. NightMare, he's holding. He's forcing this back. But we're bleeding out a lot of probes, and good control out of Krystianer. He does save the warp prism. It went down to almost half HP. The shields were stripped. But he does pull back. Waiting for another warp in. Patient play. Remember, overcharge is now on cooldown. We dive on top of the Immortals. And it looks like Krystianer, he has finally done it. Or has he? It's getting close. He gets the Immortal. NightMare is down to 1 last Immortal. Good kiting out of NightMare. He pulls back. He's shaving off all these zealots. The Immortal barely survives. Barely does survive. Boys being pulled once again. Good target firing here out of Krystianer. He does save his Immortals in the end. Does preserve them. And he breaks the natural base. Oh my god. Despite the start of this series, it was back and forth. It was very close. NightMare even showcasing some cannon rush skill as well on Ghost River. But GG gets called, and Krystianer will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Krystianer for coming out on top, for overcoming and overpowering the #1 seed. Don't forget to join the Matcherino. GG, well played. Congratulations here. Very well done. Very well played. A big shout out here to Krystianer. And I believe that he had to... Oh, wait, no, we're good, we're good. Is Krystianer also playing in EPT? I think he is. I think later on tonight here. But yeah, it's a busy day here for a lot of these players as EPT is ongoing as well. But GG, very well played. Congratulations to Krystianer. And my condolences to NightMare. I mean, NightMare, he had a good run himself. You know, he was a dominant force in this tournament. He was coming in as kind of the one to win it all. But in the end, Krystianer, he was able to cause a massive upset here instead. I would call this an upset. I do know that Krystianer has been improving quite a lot, but I would still favor, on paper, NightMare over Krystianer. Despite that, Krystianer does overcome that, overcome those expectations, and GG, well played. Very well played. Whew, and with that, that wraps up our tournament. That wraps up our broadcast here tonight. Does wrap us up. Congratulations, and I hope you all enjoyed yourselves as well. It was an amazing tournament. We had quite a bit of variety here tonight. A lot of PvPs, to be fair, but we had quite a lot of upsets as well. Switching on over here for Art, also to make NightMare bleed. Art did not look bad against NightMare in the semifinals. It was a very good performance there out of Art between NightMare. Likewise, Nickrack took down Geralt in the quarterfinals. Big results there from Nickrack. He took down Geralt 2-1. He went to the ace match against Krystianer. Nickrack also had a good performance. Shameless even forced Krystianer to the ace match as well. And we had Art versus Honmono going to game 3. A lot of ace matches, a lot of back and forth series. Very nicely done. Very high quality StarCraft here tonight. I'm happy. I'm happy with the outcome. GG. GG, well played. And I hope you all enjoyed yourselves as well. Hope you all had a great time. If you enjoyed this broadcast, if you enjoyed this tournament, then of course you can support us on Patreon. You can subscribe. You can check us out on all of our other social medias as well: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things Cranky Ducklings. ! Socials in the chat if you're interested, and yeah, you can check us out. You can check us out there if you're interested. Again, based on our Patreon, it can help us grow this tournament. It can help us grow the Sparkling Tuna Cup, so if you're interested, you can do so there. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going... hold on. Oh, sorry, I'm just messaging Krystianer. I'm just messaging Krystianer, letting him know. So just letting him know. Just letting him know. But yeah. Sorry, just messaging Krystianer, and he's proud, Papi. He's proud. Out of his wins. I was telling him, like, I'm pretty sure you picked West by accident a couple too many times. He said, nah. Practice, Papi, practice. Let's go. Yeah, if you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. You can do so by subscribing. Otherwise, you can just follow us wherever you can, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We have the Discord server. We have a YouTube channel. Plenty of StarCraft on a daily basis here on the Cranky Ducklings. And we're not done. We're going to be going on a short break. In a couple of minutes, we're going to be back with World Team League. I don't think there's anyone casting World Team League right now. I do apologize. I think a lot of the, like, Wardy and Rotterdam, I think they're busy with EPT. I think they're busy with ESL Spring. But we will be very quickly setting up our stream and casting World Team League. So, Code A about to begin here in a couple of minutes. We're just going to be turning off the stream. So the stream is going to be going down. Don't leave, or if you want some World Team League, don't leave. The stream is going to come back in a couple of minutes. I'm just resetting the delay and, of course, resetting the stream and the overlays and everything. So don't go anywhere. We're coming back, Papi. We're coming back soon with some World Team League action. The StarCraft, it doesn't end. does not stop, does not end. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. If you maybe are not interested in WTL, if you want to watch EPT Spring, then EPT Spring is currently live. So you can, of course, check it out there instead if you so wish. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Bye. Ciao. See you guys in a couple of minutes.